Hello. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing? So, it's Wednesday, and here we are. I am really trying to take things just one day at a time today, this week, this month, this year, maybe. We'll see. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Barb. So I have your cards ready for today, and I'm looking forward to um, giving you guys some quick messages and guidance. Um, if you are brand new to my weekday reading, every Wednesday I like to hop on here and just take a minute to connect with you amazing souls. And one of the ways in which I am doing that is by pulling some cards for you. Just a quick, fun little thing that I like to do because tarot rocks. I will once a week pick an initial, sometimes two initials, and I will read for, pull tickets for, or can you tell that it's been a week? I will pull cards for that person with the initial that I'm reading for. So everybody else can pick 1, 2, or 3 cards. You'll pick either number 1 or number 2 or number 3. And then the initial that I'm pulling for that week, they will get their own set of cards or card. And I am pulling for T's this week. So if you have an initial T, first or last, or the person that you're seeking guidance on or for, whether it's a relationship or a work related situation, please note that you will have your own cards pulled for you. And that is how I would relate the T to that. Hi Tina, you finally get your own cards, a T name. So I'm taking things really slow, and I mentally am just drained, which is normal, I know, but I know we all go through moments where we're drained or we're struggling to be in a million places at once, and that's been one of my issues. Wherever there is pain or suffering, that's where I want to be. And I feel like the ability that God blessed me with is supposed to be used for that. And sometimes I forget that I also have to pay attention to my vessel and my instrument, which is me. And so things are going to look a little different from here on out. Because a heart attack is really not what I want. I want to stay here. So I'm going to try to take it down a notch as far as who I'm able to communicate with weekly. And so it's going to look really different. You guys, all these hearts that you have, you're going to make me cry. Every single time I see these hearts pop up when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm like, I love you. So we'll pull 3 cards today like we usually do. Put card 1, 2, or 3 in your comment section. That way you can hold yourself accountable for that. And if you have the initial T, like I said, first or last, if the T is in the location that you're thinking about moving, or the job that you work at's name, or the relationship that you're in, maybe his name's Tom or Tim, anything like that, you can relate this set of T cards just to that for yourself if you want. But if you want to go ahead, I will show you the cards, and then we'll talk a little bit before I interpret them for you, okay? Okay, so just like always, backwards. This is card 1, this is card 2, and this is card 3. 1, 2, and 3. Please make sure that you put your suggestion in the comments, whichever one it is that you're wanting to pull for yourself, whatever your intuition is feeling that you need to pick. And the reason that I like for you to do that is so that you kind of hold yourself accountable. It's easy to say 1 in your head, and then when 3 is more relatable, you change your mind to 3. That's not how this works. You want to make sure that you're picking the card that your intuition is pulling you towards. Sometimes the message that we want to receive isn't really the message that we want to hear. It's just the message we need to hear, which is exactly what happened to me on Sunday. Okay. All right. Oh, I love seeing all of them pop up here. And then I'll just show you if you're an initial T popping in. These are going to be your cards, just so you know. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. All right. Okay. So, before we interpret those cards for you, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit briefly, kind of about how things are going to look a little bit different moving forward, with how you're able to communicate with me and get in touch with me. I'm still not doing the best. I'm just my anxiety is on like a level 12 of 1 to 10, and I'm repeating the mantra one thing at a time, because what's happening is I'm flooded with messages weekly, daily, and on several different platforms. So Facebook Messenger, email, those of you that still have my phone number, which I have not changed since the day that I started my business, are able to message me there, and then my own personal Facebook Messenger. And so every single day I wake up and I'm able to be so grateful, because there's no shortage of business, but business isn't the only reason that I got into this. I do this because I want to help and heal and guide and give peace and comfort. And I can't do that if I myself am not at peace. And so, yeah, I'm going to kind of calibrate things a little differently. And it's not an easy transition to make for me, because I absolutely love being able to be the one that talks to you. I want to be that person. But we are approaching 6,000 followers, which is unreal. I mean, for someone who doesn't have a television show or has not really had any kind of national exposure, that's like the most beautiful, unbelievable thing. And I don't do any advertisement hardly at all. I mean, it's rare. We do some, but this is all you guys. And so my God, my heart is so grateful for you. But with that being said, the easiest thing for me to do to bring messages down a little bit and to make it a little easier for me to get to each one of you would be to raise my prices. But I'm not comfortable with that, and I'm not going to do that. We did do a price raise about 5 years ago, and that was very helpful in weeding out some of the people that would constantly message. And it would be the easiest thing for me to do as well, but I'm just not comfortable with that. So instead of raising them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a system, a form intake system, where hi Tad, I love you, where we will shut off the messaging system to Facebook. We will more than likely even shut off the email situation. And instead, you will go through and fill out a form that will basically tell you or ask you what type of reading you're wanting, how long you want it to be for, if this will be in person or virtual, and then, it's going to be so much easier to not have to go back and forth and ask you all of those questions. But also, weekly readings are no longer going to be um, available. What I'm going to do in lieu of that is basically just when I have the time to, pick 4 or 5 readings that week, if at all, then I'll go and look at that intake form situation, and I'll probably just use my intuition. Who needs this the most? God help me see who exactly needs the reading more than anybody else, and allow Him to guide me. But more than likely, what we're going to be leaning towards is more daytime events, which I'm kind of excited about. Instead of doing private readings every day, I will open up, a day of the week, maybe twice a month, to do events, mediumship events with a small group of people, and it's going to be even more affordable during the day because it's during the day. And I know that you have to leave work, or you have to make, it's a lot harder to get to me when it's not a weekend or a weeknight. So for that, I will compensate and actually make the prices lower when we do during the week events. So I feel like that kind of helps everybody else out. Metaphysical Masters is coming up next month. I'm super excited about that. We've got Chantel aligning with the Divine Author. Holly, she's amazing. We call her the Crystal Crone Mama. She'll be teaching us about stones. I will be teaching a manifestation class. And Sherry Perry will be teaching the use of words, the power of words. And so that's probably like one of my favorite classes of all time. You guys will absolutely love that. You're going to be getting some messages if you have made an appointment with me, where I'm probably going to be canceling unless you have a gift certificate. And I'm so sorry. I know that so many of you are like, we've waited so long and we're so excited and we really wanted to do this, but I know I've said this several times. I will never ever compromise the accuracy of a reading for you or myself, no matter how badly I need the money or how badly you want the reading. I will not compromise that. And right now, I do not feel like I am up to par to do those readings. So you will probably be getting a message from me, unless, of course, you have a gift certificate or you're using a gift certificate of some sort, because in my mind, if you've already paid for that reading, you should definitely get that reading. And then all readings after that will go to a place where, we'll put them on a list, and it'll just be like, hey, next week, 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock, I don't even do readings at 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever, I could do a reading. Do you want this? Do you want this? Okay. Moberly just sold out last night or night before. Ottumwa, Iowa is an area where we've sold a few tickets, but we haven't sold very many, and I'm seriously contemplating on canceling that. If you are from the Iowa, Ottumwa area and you would like to see us there, make sure that you go ahead and purchase tickets like now. Otherwise, I'll probably be canceling that event. Kirksville only has 3 tickets left. So if you're wanting to attend the Kirksville event, I would buy those tickets now. All right, let's do some interpretation. Let's bring on some cards. Hi, Mia. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Teresa. Teresa, that's a T. You know what? Let's start with the initial first this time. How about that? How about we start with our initials first for once? Okay. So these are the cards for my initial T people. Hi, Mike. You got some interesting ones. So your first one is the renewal card. This card is all about moving in a new direction, but not just moving in a new direction. This card also tells us that it's a good thing. It's not like moving in this new direction is negative, or what we're leaving is negative. It's just, this is going to serve you best. And the thing that I love about this card, and I'll show it to you, isn't necessarily the card itself, it's the message that came after it that I love, which was the badger. And it's all about perseverance, okay? So if you have the initial T and you're looking for some guidance, I'm here to tell you that intuitively and based on what I'm picking up from guides, here is your sign. It's time to move in a new direction. And see it through. When you get the badger's all about perseverance. They dig, and that's exactly what this card represents. So get ready for some renewal. The other interesting thing about this renewal card is it is number 20 in the Major Arcana, and there are only 22 Major Arcana cards. They start from 0 and go to 22. And so there's only one other card after this left, and I would like to think that if you are a T and you got this card, chances are you're finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just one more big push. Keep in mind we are also in the middle of a retrograde, and I have no doubt that my physical and mental break has come during this time because we are in a retrograde, which is kind of where everything stops communication wise, and we really kind of start to see everything fade away and kind of see what matters, and that's what I've been feeling relatively deeply lately. Okay, all right, so if you picked number 1, you got the 3 of air, okay? This card's all about, sometimes it can be a card of sadness, but a lot of times it's a time to heal. It's funny because that card, number 1, is actually the card that I picked before I do my cards, and before I shuffle, I usually have a number in my mind. And when that card came out, it was kind of funny how well it meshed with what's going on right now. So it's a time to heal, and the 3 of air is also known as the forgiveness card for yourself. Not necessarily for others, but for yourself. And I know forgiving myself is something that I struggle with deeply, because we want to be in a million places at once, and we want to do for other people. And I think that we know our capacity to help and to assist other people. We just don't include ourselves in that at all, ever. I have a good friend that is a psychiatrist, and she has this amazing practice, and she comes highly recommended. But she also has a lot of issues going on in her life where she could use a psychiatrist herself. And so, and I'm sharing this, and she's okay with it, even though none of you would know who she is. But I'm sharing it because we always think about ourselves last. It's like a dentist trying to get in to get his teeth fixed. The last thing he's going to do is worry about his own teeth, right? Same thing here. So please forgive yourself. Forgive others who might take things that you say harshly instead of thinking of you instead of themselves. Forgive those around you that don't buy into the fact that healing ourselves is important, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people tend to think it's like poppycock. I can't believe I just said that. Poppycock, and it's not. So please be kind with yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive those that don't understand when you say no and when you need to set boundaries. And take some serious time to heal. Right now is a perfect time to do that, again, because it's retrograde. During retrograde, I don't like to do anything. I want to go in and be within, and I want to be by myself. The less communication possible, the better. I'm always mixing things up communication-wise, and that's simply because of what retrograde is. Okay, if you picked card number 2, interesting. It's kind of like we have a theme going on here. This is another Major Arcana card. Earlier the T's had one. This is number 16. And this card's life experience. It's all about learning to do things one way and then realizing at some point in time in your life, this didn't work for me, it's not working for me, it's no longer serving me and I need to get rid of it. Um, Also, sometimes with this card, a life-changing event may come to pass, and that may actually be where you have this moment of clarity. And it's incredibly important for you to be kind with yourself because um, oftentimes when we do let go of how we used to do things, people tend to say things like, you used to be so happy, or you used to be so bubbly, or you don't laugh anymore, or whatever it is. Well, maybe it is that we laugh at different things now. Something that was funny to us 5 years ago may not still be funny. Something that was important to us 5 years ago may no longer be important to us. And that happens with age. So age and experience. And so if you are feeling like you're kind of at a point in your life where you are feeling a little stagnant, maybe it's time to let go of some of those belief systems that no longer serve you, and step into your new life. Because we are constantly changing, we're constantly evolving. What I'm going through right now, hi Dana, what I'm going through right now is proof of that, and it's no different than what I'm sure every one of you have went through. Okay, so number 3. Let me show you number 2 one more time, just so that you can see it. I'll show you both of them actually. So this was number 1, this is number 2. Maybe you can just read them, look at them. Okay. All right, number 3. Okay. Number 3 is kind of reminds me of the Hermit sometimes, only it's not as serious. It's the 8 of Summer in the fairy deck, and it's the desire to find a more meaningful life, or the desire to find something more meaningful within life. It's realizing that maybe it's time to move on, and sometimes it's about making major life decisions. I can't help but giggle because I feel like all of these, every one of these cards kind of goes along with probably what most of us are feeling right now, simply because of the retrograde. And so, while I'm sitting here telling you that it may be time to make major life decisions, and also number 3 is I want you to pay attention to August. I think that August might be important for you simply because 8 and then summer. When I see that up there, I feel like I need to take a moment to remind you that August, or the 8th of a month, is going to be very important as far as making major life decisions for yourself and others that you walk with on this path. So, yeah, keep in mind that if you pick number 3, it may be time to move on. And it's not always about relationships when it comes to moving on. Sometimes it's work, sometimes it's finances, sometimes it's even, and I don't know why I'm saying this, but I feel pulled to say it, sometimes it's even pulling away from family. I see people all the time, day after day, and they remind me how important it is to love your family and to be present in their lives. But if they are the very people that are pulling you down or making things harder for you, that's the last thing that you want to be involving yourself in. So maybe you needed permission and you needed to hear that. I don't know, but I'm putting it out there. What I do know is that I think that 2023 is going to be a refreshing, amazing year for all of us. And it's my hope that together we can all move forward in this year and heal. Heal, even if it's little parts of us that need to heal. Heal. Our event, the Energy Enlightenment Tour, went amazing. I couldn't have been happier with how it turned out, aside from, me nearly falling over. But yeah, it's been amazing. I'm going to flip through here and just look at some of your messages and make sure that I'm not missing anything that you want me to directly see, answer. Okay. Yeah. We are horrible at taking care of us ourselves. Um, you, the worst part for me, I think, is guilt. Anytime I tell someone no, I feel guilty, and so it's easier for me to handle and deal with the fact that I'm sacrificing my own time and energy, even time with my children, family, and friends to make you feel better. Um, it's easier for me to do that than it is for me to ask you to do that. And like I said, with there's this saying, and I can't remember what movie it's from, but with great power comes great responsibility. I think I take that a little too serious, but it's so true how when you are given the ability to heal and you're given the ability to help, we tend to spread ourselves far too thin. And I know that so many of my followers are healers, just like myself, whether you're, working as an IT tech somewhere and healing on the weekend, from your basement, or, this is actually your job. So many of us deal with that. So please, this is a message to put yourself first finally, and be okay with telling someone no. If I ask for a sign for something, how long should I usually give spirits to get that sign? Well, Bridget, that's completely up to you. Yesterday, I asked for a sign on whether or not I should give someone a message that I've been holding in for a really long time. She's not really someone I always had the best relationship with, but I felt it was so important, to do diligence and give her this message. So I said, if I'm supposed to do this, I want you to show me a basketball. I don't know why I always pick that, but it's just something you never see. And last night, just as I was about to fall asleep, I was watching a TV show with my kids, and I didn't see the basketball all day. I thought, whew, I'm off the hook. And just as I was about to fall asleep, and I was thinking I'm off the hook, one of the main characters in the show said something like, palm their face like a basketball. And I thought, that's close enough. That is close enough for me. So it's not so much about the amount of time that you give them, it's your intuition. So you tell them you want this sign, you may not receive it for a week, but if when you do receive it, it makes you instantly go to it and think of that, step back and think, okay, how hard was it for this invisible being to make sure that this happened for me? How kind am I going to be, and how big am I going to make this box? How much am I going to believe in this, or to how much stock am I going to put into this? And if you say, I'm going to take it, I like it, they did a good job, then take it. But if you are still feeling like, you're that's not good enough, I need more, I need something deeper, then allow yourself to ask for it again. Your guides want to do this, Bridget. They strive to give you signs and communicate with you and work on your language. While we're over here living our lives and doing a million different things, they are hyper focused on us. So I say be gentle with them. Okay? Okay. Oh, so weird. That's awesome. Hey, one other quick thing I want to say to you guys before I hop off here. Chris Griffin is putting on a metaphysical sip and shop on January 28th in Quincy, Illinois. I know that some of my students will be reading there. I personally won't be able to make it because I'm out of town that weekend with my children, but I desperately want to make sure that if you are looking for a quick read, or just to get into your metaphysical tribe, please look that up. It's Metaphysical Sip and Shop with Chris Griffin. Okay? All right, I am going to hop off of here. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for seeing this through and being so kind. So many of you sent beautiful message of love and healing, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. I'm just grateful that it didn't end up as bad as it could have been. So be on the lookout for a message from me. If you have a gift certificate, I'll be setting up a reading with you. If you do not, I'm going to be halting all readings until I can get a new system in place for you to go through, which will probably be through my website, and I will share that link when it's done. Okay, I love you guys so much. You fucking rock. Have a good rest of the week.